Live television, folks. Welcome back to episode 66 of Planet Film Live. I am one of your hosts. Where am I? Sean Monk. I gotta get used to that being on the other side. I am one of your hosts, Sean Monk. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on this Christmassy themed episode. Yeah.
I'm your other host, TJ Cornwell, and today we welcome Shelly.
Hello.
Boom. All right. Welcome, everybody. So as we talked about, or as you can see by the thumbnail and like we said last week, this week we are going to be breaking down our individual top 10s. Is that notebook have it?
Mine?
Yeah.
My top 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, where's her phone? I forgot she doesn't have letterbox.
Too, but yeah.
But yeah, we are going to be breaking down our personal top 10 lists for Christmas movies, holiday movies. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Probably going to do a little, if I assume, get a little bit of Shelly's thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
Before we move on to everything. If you want to check out our thoughts, both my TJ and Brandon joined us for the live stream review that we did for Spider-Man No Way Home over the weekend. So you can go check that out on the channel right now. And then if you have time, go back even further. And last week's show, we actually ranked all of the all of the Spider-Man movies, excluding like Venom and stuff like that. So the main 9 Spider-Man films, we ranked them all. So go check that out as well. Also, check out Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Teaser is finally out on the internet. We did a trailer reaction to that this morning. I think welcome to anyone new who subscribed from that. That was a pretty successful video for us. Still climbing up. So we appreciate it. We're trying to get to 350 by New Year's. 350 subscribers by New Year's. We got like I think 8 more to go. 9 more. 9 more. Did we lose one?
No, we were at 341 the whole time.
No, I thought we were at 342.
When?
I don't know when I checked it.
No. No.
Are you sure?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think we were at 341 the whole time.
Let me see.
I could be wrong, but that's
we're
where we're
342 right now.
Oh. Well, then that's a not current page that I.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So 8 more. Perfect. Well, first, let's start with Spider-Man No Way Home thoughts. Then I want to get your thoughts on Loki because I've seen some discourse. I also have not watched You haven't watched the last episode, correct?
He means Hawkeye.
No.
Hawkeye, right? I haven't watched it either, but there's been some discourse on Twitter and online
differing opinions
on if it's good or if it's bad. Like Sean,
specifically the finale, I should say. The show is pretty unanimously loved, but the finale is definitely causing some stirs.
Hello, Connie and Incredible Gaming in the chat. Hello.
Oh, Connie. Is that like Connie?
It's Connie. Like
which
Connie? Huh? It's got to be
your
Connie / Anita Cat.
Oh, okay.
Cat
I thought for a second it was
the mother of cats.
No, I thought for a second it was like North Carolina.
Oh no, I don't.
Because I saw she commented, but we'll get to those later.
Soul Sanctuary. Hello.
Oh, that's Rhonda.
Oh, welcome everybody. Boom.
I'm so glad I could boost your.
How many people do we have right now?
6.
Nice. Shout out to the 6 people watching right now. Thanks for joining us.
All right, so Shelly, why don't you tell us your thoughts on Spider-Man No? Have you seen it twice?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you give us your thoughts on the movie?
Spoiler free, for now.
Oh,
okay.
To start.
Okay. Well, I loved it, and I'm right up there with you guys with the whole MCU stuff and everything. Yeah. But I don't think that I have been to a film in a long time where I was literally jumping out of my seat. And we saw it again right after that one, and I still did it knowing what was happening. So it was like, and I know I'll still do it the same.
Right.
Even if I'm the only one in the theater. It was just great. Sean and I talked about it, and I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Uh-huh.
It's like, really, I said 6 out of 5 because it was one of those things where it was just a ride from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it never stopped all the way through. And it just had everything, and I just loved it. To me, it was, obviously, I think it was the best of the Tom Holland Spider-Man and probably the best of all of them.
Yeah.
But it was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Nice.
Awesome. We are gonna do. Is anybody objecting to spoilers outright in the chat or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
So we are gonna do spoilers right now. We're spoilers. I'll wave my hands again when we're not done with spoilers. So if you just want to keep us on and mute it for a second, make sure you don't have closed captioning on. Okay, spoilers.
What?
Spoilers.
Yeah. And me? Like what I thought.
And I will be right back.
When they came through that portal,
Mm-hmm.
when he took that hood off,
Yeah.
my heart just like, I was never so glad that rumors were right.
Right. Yeah.
And Toby coming through, which I loved, without the suit on, technically, that was cool too, because it sort of made them wonder, well, who is this? Because he wasn't, obviously Andrew came through with the Spider-Man suit on and everything. But I will tell you, everything about it was great, but I think Andrew Garfield stole that movie. Unbelievable. Him and what the stuff between him and Toby.
Yeah.
And just his reactions to stuff. When he went to get the cobweb out for Ned's mom.
Mm-hmm.
And how he just went like this and he was on it was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily a huge fan of his in the beginning. Like
right.
I before Tom Holland came, I was a Toby,
Yeah, I would probably
fan.
yeah.
But oh my God, I literally think he stole this. I mean, you hate to say it. Yeah,
just Andrew Garfield in general. Yeah, yeah.
It was just unbelievable. And then yeah, and just it was, what I thought was funny, and I started laughing, was the shot that we all saw in the trailer where it's like, obviously there was something going on.
Oh, yeah.
Was edited out and everything. So I go to Sean, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like you see it with everybody, and it's funny how we all just knew that that's what had happened.
Yeah,
the same thing with the
right,
the actual the main I thought it was funny too that like the people that really dissected that were like, oh, he's saying they even dissected it so much that they were like, oh, he's saying something about web blood, so they were like, he must be talking to Toby, and they got it off by one syllable. He said web block. Like somebody even because originally
the video of him on the blue screen.
Because originally that the person who leaked it as a 240p image.
Right.
And then the same person leaked it as a 4K image, and then the same person leaked the 3-second clip.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the 3-second clip came out, everybody was like, oh wow, and that's when they started dissecting it. And they were like, oh, he must be talking to Toby because he's saying web blood.
Right.
And just the fact that not only because they have already said, actually, like Feige has already come out and said there's scenes that with them that were cut because it's like you can't keep everything. Right. It's like, what are the chances that the main leaked image that everyone was talking about was left in it? You know what I mean?
Well, even that, because for me, that, I was like, I don't know, that could be, that could be from his Spider-Man movie, whatever.
It could be
But as soon as I saw, in the trailer, the scaffolding and piping, I was like, oh, well, that's
and you
clearly...
you called it in our live, we did a live stream when the trailer dropped. I remember with the jumping scene, you called it that you were like, oh, yeah, there's totally room for them to be edited out. And I was like, what do you mean? And then we went back and watched. So, I got to give it to you. I didn't even pick up on the scaffolding or anything like that. But, they really fucked
Geek Style Tendencies said that you guys have the same Christmas sweater. So you got that going for you.
I don't remember where I got this. It was either H&M or...
I think it was H&M.
It was either H&M or... It might have been... maybe Target, but I feel like it was in the mall. So it must have been somewhere. But shout out. Geek Style Tendencies, welcome back. Long time watcher. We appreciate it. But yeah. Any more Spider-Man No Way Home?
I mean, just for me, and I think I said it with Brandon the other day, that scene, when he saves MJ, I didn't know I needed that, but that was that was the closest I got to crying.
And I totally called it, didn't I? ages ago. As soon as we knew that she started to fall, when we first saw it, I
was
said,
against it.
He's going to, he didn't want it to happen. Yeah. But I said, oh my God, Andrew Garfield's going to catch her. I just knew it, and when it happened, it was so amazing. It was oh my God, I loved it. Sorry to use the word amazing. Oh yeah, very amazing, amazingly amazing.
The last thing I'm gonna say that I don't think I touched on enough in our review was just the line, the whole scene around, but the line of, "You were in the Avengers? Oh, that's great. What is that?" Like, just Toby's face. He's just so happy, but he's like, "That's great.
Yeah.
What is that?" And then when Tom starts explaining, he goes, "How is this helping?"
I know.
It was so freaking
I think
funny.
my favorite scene was
Peter
Ned, when Ned called Peter and they all answered, and he's like, Peter Parker, same thing. It's like, oh my God, it was hysterical.
Tom's like, we're all still, we're all still
now,
Peter Parker.
What are the odds that? Because there's this whole thing now. It's like this whole movement. It's like make the Amazing Spider-Man 3. And what are the actual odds of that?
Of the Amazing Spider-Man 3 happening?
Yes.
I think not at all. The odds of Andrew Garfield coming back in any capacity, 100%.
Yeah,
I would say Toby is done because behind the scenes talk, like everybody said, it was millions. It was such a...
really?
He hasn't acted in anything for 8 years.
True, yeah.
The last thing he did was Pawn Sacrifice, where Josh McCouga ended his career. And then... and then he was the voiceover in Boss Baby a year after that. But live action, he hasn't been in anything since 2012. And like he did The Great Gatsby, and then right after was Pawn Sacrifice, and then nothing.
Yeah.
So it was like they said it was about $5 million to have him do it. And then it was also just like he just really didn't want to go back. But then it was one of those things too that, of course, then once he gets back, they're like, oh my God, he had a great time. Like he was like, I'm glad he did it. But I could understand that. I mean, he hasn't. I mean, that's not only is it something that he was, I would say pretty either semi or pretty retired from acting, but also it's hard to. He hasn't tapped into that character. In 14 years, you know what I mean? Like, and that's tough that's a tough challenge. Like, and he did it flawlessly. And I hope, I love that Andrew's getting so much, praise and stuff, because I'm one of the people that, just like a lot of people, the movies were bad. Yes. But he's a great, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I love that Andrew's getting so much hype and love and stuff, but I feel like I don't want people to lose how good Toby was in it too.
Yeah.
Which is like, might be hard to even say, because I feel like people just like it's a given almost that Toby's really good at Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, but I just feel like they both picked it right back up.
But they also sort of made Toby with the other two sort of that I don't know, just that older experienced guy. I mean, that they like worship.
The best part of it is it's a Spider-Man who's 38, a Spider-Man who's 28, and then a Spider-Man who's 18.
Right.
And it's like, which is ironic because they're all almost 10 years older than what they were all playing.
Right.
But like, I just think they just nailed that. It's like, it's a Spider-Man, who's about to be 40, Spider-Man is about to be 30, and then Spider-Man is about to be 20. Like, 3 stages of... That's what I think made it super interesting. Kind of the same dynamic as, like, Miles with Peter B. Parker, but different because it's the same guy. So it's like, this could show you, where you end up, even though it's, different circumstances or whatever. But
I did like Jamie Foxx's... line about there's got to be a black Spider-Man. I was just like, what? That was a nice
Jamie Foxx's delivery just freaking crushed
he was really good. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of his, but I really liked him in this.
And also, I feel like I feel like people are constantly underestimating Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. He brought the freaking heat.
He did.
Not even just in this, but this year. With his 4 episodes of What If,
right?
He was so good. He's a lot of people's favorite character from that entire series. And then just the hype, like the immediate hype for the trailer for Multiverse of Madness and just his performance in this. Let's exit spoilers, so this will be like, we'll give our, anything final, so you guys can unmute. Just the last thing I'll say is, at the end of the movie, when Benedict Cumberbatch says, he's like crying basically, and I'm not going to spoil anything else in the sentence, just when he says we about something instead of like they, like, and it acknowledges that like he includes himself in that group of people. It just makes everything that's happening
totally
all the
changed
more,
everything.
all the more deep and like, it was just a great moment.
Yeah.
With the two, because it's like you think about, have they known each other for long? No, not really. But they've already been through so much together and have. It's like, you're bonded in war. Basically,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like he says earlier, I think this was even in one of the trailers, so this is not a spoiler, but he's like, Peter, after everything we've been through together, I constantly forget that you're still just a kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's, and like, I loved their dynamic. But yeah.
I watched that movie again.
What is that? Is that a freaking...
That would be a bot. Yeah, the bot is back. I was watching something, like a YouTube stream. I think it was Riley's stream the other day, and that same bot like popped up. I was like, that sucks. You know what I got today in the mail? I got my No Time to Die steelbook, which is kind of nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's very good Bond movie. Did I? Yeah.
What? Like what?
What? What?
That's just on YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't.
They're always on. That's how I got spoiled. Stuff like that.
Oh, I thought I've never seen. Like, how is that not been taken down? Is just what I'm saying.
Yeah. People just posting the random clips from the movie. Yeah, that's.
I mean, I know it's everywhere on TikTok, but TikTok, it's like impossible to take something down.
Right. Yeah. All right. Do we want to lead into since we're still talking like Marvel? Like, do you want to give us your Hawkeye finale thoughts without spoilers or anything?
Yeah, hang on. Let me just
please don't
block this guy into oblivion.
Yeah, because I'm interested to hear just I don't know because
so RP I haven't really been paying attention because I don't want anybody to spoil anything online. So it's mixed as far as the reaction to this. Or
not even like mixed. It's like there are some people like that were like, oh, it's good, but like. It just it fails in like tying everything up together
and I feel like so for me, I gotta say, just for me personally, I was not disappointed with it.
Okay.
I understand because I think people are losing sight of, you have to look at the track record of these shows. Like every single one of them, all the live action ones that we've gotten this year have all been the same. The penultimate episode, how are they going to tie everything up? This person's got to come in to help them. Why isn't Spider-Man helping out if it's in New York City? You know what I mean? Like they said that about, what's it called?
Doctor Strange and WandaVision.
But what's the...
Loki?
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like with Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that finale was the UN meeting in New York City. They're like, where's Spider-Man? This one is... I don't want to spoil anything. This one is right by where Peter Parker lives. Right. You know what I mean? So, and I mean right by.
Yeah. And people's whole thing at the end of Spider-Man was, oh my God, look where he is. Like, is he going to be in the Hawkeye finale?
Yeah, and it's like... Yeah. Like, use your head. But and I just feel like people, every time they get these big ideas built up, that it's like they gotta wrap everything up. Nothing is gonna get added in the last episode. We've shown the track record of all these, and so I think with that in mind, I was not disappointed at all. And also I'll say I wasn't disappointed, and there were things that weren't wrapped up. Right. But I know at this point everything comes back around. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that I don't think people understand or don't give it credit enough.
It might not look wrapped up in the show.
Exactly.
Marvel's still going out there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's anything could happen to bring it back or wrap it up later, or or it's just continuing. You just don't know when.
Yeah. You kind of have to have faith in. Which I don't know at this point how you don't have faith in Kevin Feige or Marvel or general, because they've proven time and time again that they can build something up, pay it off later.
Like how many times do they have to prove
years
that?
later. Although, until I see Tim Blake Nelson back, I don't know. I don't know if I can trust him.
Well, like I said, however many weeks ago, he was asked about that. So it's like, I feel like that was it's gonna happen one day,
right?
But we're saving it for the right, and I think that's the right approach to have. You know what I mean? It's like I'm gonna throw as little spoiler out there as possible. Like somebody like Swordsman, right? Like I've seen people be like, "Oh, what a waste of a character," and it's like, do you not understand what setting up? That's like saying with Phil Coulson in the first. Iron Man. Oh, what a waste of a character.
Yeah.
He just showed up. Like, Tony Dalton has, he's been great in Hawkeye. He's had maybe 40 minutes of screen time, if that, across the 6 episodes. And might I also add, he's fantastic in the finale. And it's like, he's obviously going to come back. That's what this universe does.
Right,
clearly he is, that's something that they're setting up. Almost everyone that was in this finale is going to be back. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like people. I just feel like people so easily lose track of that they're like, well, I just feel like you could have done more with that. Like I've seen people.
2 years.
Like, not even 2 years because I've seen people saying, I just feel like Maya Lopez Echo. I feel like Maya's storyline wasn't as fleshed out as I would have liked. She's getting her own show next year. What are you talking? Just let things happen.
Just
things
Google
take
it.
time. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't. I don't understand that. That's like the same people that are like, well, what are they gonna do now that the Hulk is he just gonna be Professor Hulk forever?
Are these the same people that
and it's
leave
like,
when the credits are rolling?
Yeah, probably. But literally, like, I don't know. I just hate when people and there's the whole savior thing of. Yeah, like the same people that go, well, I think Doctor Strange, he really should have shown up in the end of WandaVision. And it's like, no, he doesn't have to.
And that was the point. Like, there's all that out there, and it wasn't even necessary. As a matter of fact, it might have muddied things a little bit.
What would the scene have been? Him showing up to her cabin to recruit her to help? Oh, look, guess what? We have that now.
Right, exactly.
we just saw it.
But they're doing it in the right time frame.
Like, okay, granted, you had to wait 9 months to get that scene. But guess what? You have it now.
My guess is she's finished that book, and now he needs to.
Yeah, like, I just don't understand.
I'm just interested to, like, because I'll just probably say, like, because we haven't done, or we only reviewed, like, the first 2 episodes, but... I like the show. I don't love it, and I think that has something to do with me just not really caring about the character beforehand, and I don't think the show has really grown. Like, I care more about him now, but I still, like, the show, like, for me, like, just does not hit as hard as, like, again, like, WandaVision. I love WandaVision.
Oh, I love WandaVision.
It was so good.
Wait,
like,
did you like WandaVision?
I loved WandaVision.
You've seen my license.
How'd you feel on Falcon Winter Soldier?
It was okay.
Oh, there we go.
But... So I'm interested to see, like, if this, and you, because you asked me for, like, my top, like, MCU, like, rankings for 2021 earlier today, and you're like, the final episode probably won't change your mind on if the show is good or not.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see kind of, like, what they have in store and, where the character goes, because, again, I don't know what happens at the end, so.
And I've always, and see, I'm kind of the opposite as far as Hawkeye, during, like, all the Avengers movies and everything. I've always felt like he's the heart of them. He's the one. And then when we end up, in their house and there's this whole family and stuff, and now that's even more fleshed out in the show. Yeah. And everything. It's like, I'm always like, see, I was right. This guy is like really, I mean, here's this girl that we've never heard of before. And she's this little kid who is in awe of him because he basically saved her during New York. And it's like, it was just amazing. It's like there's people that look up to him and he doesn't even get that.
Right, yeah.
And I will say, again, without spoiling anything, if you want to talk about disappointment with anything else, that's whatever. But what the core of the show is, which is the Clint-Kate relationship, ends beautifully and has beautiful scenes in this episode.
Oh, good.
Like they're like it, whatever. I don't care what your thoughts are on Kingpin. I don't care, whatever. What the show is a Kate Bishop origin story.
Exactly.
And that part of it is handled beautifully. Like, there is some great acting just one-on-one with, you know, with Jeremy Renner and, you know, Haley Steinfeld in this episode. And that's what the show's job is. Everything else is candy on top. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's the cherry on top. Like, Kingpin is the cherry on top of the series. You know what I mean? He showed up in the last episode. Like, there's great stuff. And I'll say, too, kind of the secondary thing, there's great stuff with, you know, Renner and Florence Pugh in this, too, with Yelena. Like, there's great stuff in here for what the show is about. Like, yes, it's like, okay, Kingpin was behind the scenes, but the show's not about Kingpin.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, he is someone influencing events and stuff like that. So, to me, I can't get upset with a show that doesn't deliver on something that's not what the show's about. You know what I mean? It's a guest spot.
He would have shown up a hell of a lot sooner.
Yeah, he would have been the episode 3 or 4 reveal. You know
and
what I
then
mean?
we might have thought, okay, they're fleshing him out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessary.
And that's the same thing too. I literally saw a tweet today that was like, I just hope Charlie Cox's Daredevil, you know, has a better MCU debut as because obviously talking about Daredevil, not just Matt Murdock.
Right.
Like, I hope that Charlie Cox's Daredevil has a better MCU debut than whatever the hell they did to that. And then I saw that they massacred my boy, like Vito Corleone, like meme. And I'm like, he literally had maybe 20 minutes of, no, not even. He maybe had 15 minutes of screen time. And we know he's going to be in the Echo show. Like, again, it's just like, they didn't bring back Vincent D'Onofrio to be in one episode of one show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they brought him back for a reason, to build stuff up.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I'll say about Hawkeye. And the last thing I'll say about Hawkeye is tune in this weekend for our Hawkeye review. Boom. Time and date TBD.
Yeah. Well, we can't do it on Saturday, so.
Yeah, because that's Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else we want to talk about, or do we want to get into this?
I guess we could just talk a little bit about just the box office of Spider-Man. It's the it's the
crazy
number 2 opening weekend of all time in the middle of a pandemic. So we'll see how many people die from, you know, enjoying Spider-Man No Way Home.
Gotta say that.
I would not mind going out that way. It was that good.
But yeah, you know, as long as you're being safe and you're vaccinated and going out of the theater, you know,
yeah,
do as long as you're doing your part, enjoy what you want to enjoy. And a lot of people did. It's at currently, I believe it's at 750 million worldwide, almost 500 domestic. Did a $260 domestic opening weekend, which is
that's crazy.
I think that's 7 million over Infinity War's opening, way below Endgame's opening. But you know that's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely crushed it. Still crushing it. It's the highest worldwide opening box office ever for a movie, not opening like with China, because Endgame opened with Endgame and Infinity War opened with China at the same week. No Way Home has yet to open in China. So you know, if you remove, which I'm only saying that because China is the, you know, second biggest, if not sometimes the biggest movie market in the world. So yeah, if you remove China from it, it is the biggest worldwide opening of anything, which is, you know, crazy that even with that qualifier, it's up there with it. But yeah, like I said, more importantly, even including China, it is the second highest opening of all time. So basically, the takeaway from that is, if it had opened in China this weekend, it probably could have beaten Endgame, which is insane. Yeah, I mean, just the numbers are. It's one of those things where the numbers are just ridiculous. Like, it's just insane how much money it's making. And I think with people off of school and people off of work and stuff, I don't see it. I don't see it dropping more than 40% this next weekend, if that.
No, I was gonna say, I don't even think it's gonna be that.
Yeah, if that. Now I could be wrong on that. You know, times are tough with people all over the world right now, so maybe it's one of those things where, you know, they spent their money that they could on a movie, and that's it right now. Because a lot of big families, it's like $120 just to go out to the movies. Yeah. But that being said, gift cards, Christmas money, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That stuff impacts box office hugely. One thing I will say, its number one spot, I don't think is good. I don't even think there's a remote chance of anything that's coming out. And there's 5 movies coming out this week. In some markets, they're already out. Like where we live in New York, they're already out. But things like Matrix, things like Kingsman, don't even stand a shot of coming anywhere close to whatever No Way Home is going to make this week. So in terms of its number one spot, I'd see it holding its number one spot well into January. If not, honestly, the only thing I can think of that might dethrone it is Morbius. Because at that point, it'll have been out for a month and a half, and Morbius, is...
Wouldn't that be something?
Whatever you want to say about how you feel about Jared Leto or the Sony standalone movies or whatever, it's the next big Marvel movie that's coming out.
Right.
So, that's going to get butts in seats. It's going to get people in the theater. Yeah. So, yeah, my prediction, I'm saying it's going to be number one at the box office for at least 6 or 7 weeks. Just based on kind of the forecast of what's coming out, when it's coming out. Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Just insane. Okay. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and,
hit our list.
Yeah. All right. So the way that we do our list here is, we do it, in the style of the top 10 show. Shout out, I almost said Steve Morris. Shout out Cinephiles as well. Shout out Steve Morris and John Roca. But shout out Matt Nost and John Roca for the top 10 show. It's a great show. Big influence on the format that we do the top 10s for. I say this every time. It's a compliment. We're not trying to steal anything. It's just, you guys nailed the formula, and it's a very good formula. And I feel like doing it any other way is a disgrace to God.
Bots?
Guys, let us get to 350 subscribers so that we can hire
Hire what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so that we can hire
Who's got that type
a moderator.
A bot killer.
Yeah. No, I'll look into like an AI moderator. Yeah, but the way that we do it is, we'll go in a circle and we'll do, we'll start with Shelly, I feel. We usually give the guest the honor of going first. So Shelly will do her bottom 5. Then TJ will do his bottom 5. Then I'll do my bottom 5. Then Shelly will do her next 2. TJ his next 2. My next 2. And then we'll do one apiece for our top 3 of the list. And we also have a system where we do punting. So that basically means if something in Shelly's is in her top 5 or in her bottom 5, which is, her 10 through 6, but it's somewhere higher in my list, then, I'll yell punt, and then we'll talk about it in the higher position on whoever list it's on. You'll get it, once we start going. But yeah, without further ado, you want to go ahead and hit us with your number 10 holiday movie of all time?
Yes. This was very hard. I didn't expect it to be. There's a lot of movies out there.
Oh, do we want to do honorable mentions now?
Yeah, we could do honorable mentions.
Yeah,
first.
I just thought of that.
You want me to?
Yeah, so
first?
Start with your honorable mentions.
Okay. So the first honorable mention was Surviving Christmas with Ben Affleck and what's his name? Went out of my head.
James Gandolfini.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The only reason is, and I don't remember much of the movie, was because that was the movie that his stepdad and I went to on our first date.
It's funny because I literally, before you got here, I walked in. I go, I watched this movie with Ben Affleck, James Gandolfini, and all these people. Yeah. I literally watched it last night with Danielle because I was looking for movies that might make the list, and spoiler, it didn't make the list. But I was like, oh, it's kind of like all these people in it.
I know.
And I was like, it's kind of a weird premise too. Like it's kind of wacky. But at the end, I was like, oh, it's kind of, it made me feel good.
Yeah.
But
under the circumstances, I don't remember a lot of it. But anyway, and of course, the most controversial Christmas film of all, Die Hard, I had on my honorable mentions. Still feel it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Had an ornament in there somewhere. It had a tree. That's it. Gremlins I had.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
That's a very good pick for Christmas.
Yeah. Trading Places was
Oh
Christmas.
God, I thought about that too. Weird not seeing Shelly in the chat. I know, yeah, it's true.
Who said that?
Danielle. She said it's weird. It's weird not.
Am I loud enough, Danielle, or too soft, too loud?
Yeah.
She's the one who tells us all the tech stuff. Yeah.
Everybody that's watching right now, by the way, I think we have 9 people watching right now. Looks like. Shout out. Give us whatever you want to do. Well, first of all, definitely give us if you know it, your number 1 holiday movie of all time. But throw some out there that you guys really love. If you don't have a ranking or anything, just throw some movies out there, and we'll always circle back to whatever conversation starts up in the chat.
But yeah, definitely Trading Places. All I can think of whenever I think of that
That's
movie
a great call.
Is a drunk Aykroyd with that dirty Santa beard, stuffing the salmon in his jacket. It's just like so awesome. I just love it. Yeah, to me that's a good one, but it didn't make the list. But that was it. And then the other one I was thinking about was that Klaus on Netflix.
Oh my God! Holy shit! That's good. Like, okay, Shelly is definitely bringing the heat right now. Yeah, I really. Oh shit! Yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna add that as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
With the one with J.K. Yeah, I know the animated one with like J.K. Simmons and stuff. Yeah. Holy shit, that is a good movie.
It had such a, what do you call that animated look that it had? It wasn't like it was.
It's almost like a hybrid between like traditional drawn and then like cell shading.
Yeah, it was.
But it's not a very common style.
Story too, as far as like a sort of Santa backstory kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's actually like a really good pick.
It was a really good movie, and I was sort of like,
Jesus.
I don't want to watch that. And Sean's like, we gotta watch this, and it was really good.
I'm like blown away right now. Yeah. First of all, that I forgot that, and second, that was like in your mind, like that is 100% a high honorable mention for me.
Danielle says A Christmas Story is number 1 for her.
Well,
how nice for her.
Yeah. The old man and me. Right.
Are you guys doing your
Yeah.
I only have 3. One of mine is Die Hard. It was on my list originally, and I was like, it's kind of borderline. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it not? So I took it off. I have.
So you ran in fear from
basically, yeah. I have. I don't know if you ever watched this. This is from 2001. I watched this a lot when I was a kid. I had it on DVD. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys.
Oh,
it's 3D animated. I looked last night on my Fire Stick, and you can't like rent it. Like it's only on DVD, I guess.
Was it?
Are you talking about? Wait.
It's 3D animated.
Wait, click the poster right now so that I don't see your list.
Okay. Does it look familiar?
Oh, because I was like,
Rick Moranis, Kathleen Barr, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Because you're not talking about Rudolph. You're not talking about the Rankin and Bass. You're talking about the 2001 sequel.
2001. Oh, was it a sequel?
Yeah, it's a sequel to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay. Well, then, this.
Yeah, because when you said 3D animated, and then I remembered that they made a sequel because it's not like the claymation anymore. Because Rankin and Bass is way out of business. But but yeah, that's a good pick.
And then I also had the Santa Claus, which is an honorable mention.
The Santa Claus is an honorable mention?
The Santa Claus.
Wow, okay.
If you say so.
Let us see. I have a lot of honorable mentions.
I'm sure you do.
I really.
Oh, sorry. Danielle reminded me. There was this one
Christmas with the Cranks?
No.
Oh.
There was this one on VHS. It was a Mickey sing-along that I always watched as a kid, where it was like all these Christmas songs with like a visual. And then it was like it would have the words at the bottom and a little like Mickey shaped wreath bouncing across each word.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god, I loved that thing.
It
was great.
Okay, so first of all, my number 1 honorable mention is Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
Oh jeez.
No, really. I will put my honorable mentions are not ranked, but I will add Klaus's a amazing high quality film. Like it is.
I gotta watch it.
Like as good. It's
really
good. Great as a Christmas movie for sure, but just in its quality as a film, it's amazing.
Did it win?
It won, no.
2 years. What was it? 2 years ago?
Oh, maybe it did.
I don't remember.
No, it lost to Spider-Verse.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. If Spider-Verse hadn't come out though,
Yeah.
Klaus I feel like should have won Best Animated for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, so shout out to what Danielle just said because my first honorable mention is The Year Without a Santa Claus, which is a Rankin and Bass claymation one from 1974. Amazing movie. I love that movie so much.
Is that the one with Heat Miser? And I think me and Daniel talked about
That's one of the ones with Heat Miser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of, there are two kids that live 2 doors down from us, and today they were screeching at the top of their lungs that song.
Oh, yeah.
The Heat Miser song. Yeah. We were like, is someone being murdered outside? And we turned on the TV, and he was just screaming. Like, I just heard him scream, "Green Christmas, I'm Mr. Sun," and I was like, they are scream singing I was like, that's so weird. But they're like 4 and 6, so it's like it just shows how holding all these movies are basically. Next honorable mention is Santa Claus is Coming to Town for 1970. Fantastic movie. To me, it's the best of that's probably my number 11.
I wonder why.
Yeah, that's probably my number 11 if I had to put it. Just amazing. Everything with the Winter Warlock and stuff, and Burgermeister Meisterburger.
Oh wait, is this the one where he's like
young Santa Claus.
growing up? Yeah,
okay, he looks like me. He looks
like
that.
I'd throw that on as an honorable mention, I guess. Yeah.
I grew up, everybody said that I looked like that.
Yeah, I didn't rate any of those because they're like half-hour things.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, all of those were my childhood.
Yeah, that's why I put them as honorable mentions.
Yeah, so
if they were like a full 90 minutes, I would.
Yeah,
but
used it
I think the
like
longest,
Klaus.
the longest one is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and that was like 54 minutes. So it's like it's not even an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, really, really good. Really, really good. Then another honorable I feel like I'm going to get a lot of flack for my honorable mentions. But I put this in terms of quality, how Christmassy it makes me feel, and, just personal, whatever.
Yeah. A lot of my list is like, what am I, most
I feel
rewatching and just
I feel like this is going to get me a lot of hate from you.
Okay.
I mean, you are a given, but I feel like it might get a lot of hate from you and Danielle.
Here we go.
Well, my next honorable mention is It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh my God!
my next honorable mention is A Christmas Story.
Yeah, A Christmas Story I only saw once, and I saw it last year, and Danielle was like, you have to watch this. Like, that's again, like she said, that's her favorite Christmas movie. So I don't remember it that well, but I get obviously like the leg lamp, like that's like one of the big, one of the kind of iconic things for that movie. For sure. But yeah, I might throw that in as an honorable mention as well. I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I love that movie. Like, I just don't go back to it
right
every year. It's and granted, obviously, that is majority of the American population's number one Christmas movie. Like, for decades.
How do you not go to it when the whole week of Christmas it's on two stations?
No, I know.
24/7.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's by far, I think the populist choice. I feel like the populace would put, that's the number one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's really good though. Where am I at here? Oh yeah, next honorable mention is it really killed me to put it on an honorable mention. All these honorable mentions really killed me to make them honorable mentions. But 10 is such a small number, which is 1998's Jack Frost, starring Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Oh, shout out the news! Did you see the news?
Oh yeah, he's gonna
Michael
be
Keaton has been cast as Batgirl, so he's officially
Yeah.
DC's Batman going forward. But yeah, Jack Frost with Michael Keaton. I watched this movie all the time as a kid, but I just had it. It can't be. Not everything can be in the top 10. And that's one of the ones that had to get cut, but it's still an amazing movie. Very, very good. 3 more honorable mentions. So next one is Four Christmases. With Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau and a whole bunch of other
I
people.
saw it scrolling yesterday.
And Jon Favreau, a whole bunch of others. It's just a really fun modern Christmas movie.
Even though it's on your honorable mentions, do I say punt at this point or no?
Oh, no, you don't have to.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I won't talk about it anymore right now. And then my next honorable mention, again, pained me not to put it on the list, but the Santa Claus 2. Didn't make the list.
Even after we watched it a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I just feel like Charlie's just such an asshole in that one. And that takes up so much of the movie. It just bogs the whole.
No, that is very true.
Was it the second one or the third one that had Martin?
Oh, we'll get to
that. Oh, well, yeah.
We'll
I couldn't remember which one it was.
We'll talk about it. Okay, my last honorable mention is, it's not Die Hard, but it is something that, is it a Christmas movie? I think any movie that is set in the winter time that is primarily focused on the main character either getting back in time for Christmas, or if Christmas permeates the entire, like, almost every scene. Like, I think if a movie isn't necessarily a Christmas movie, but it's about them trying to get home for Christmas, or, so not an and, but, or it's Christmas is like a subplot, but it's every season Christmas is present and it's winter and everything. So this is my my last honorable mention, but I will put it on there. Iron Man 3. I think that movie, I think
Danielle brought that one.
Yeah, I usually do want, like, it's not about Christmas, but Christmas is what's happening.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movie references that it's Christmas time and it's, snow and all that, all that stuff is going on throughout the entire movie. And we all know Shane Black loves, making Christmas movies. But yeah, so Iron Man 3 is my last honorable mention. I couldn't put it on the list just because I feel like it's not necessarily, it doesn't embody Christmas, but it's still, a really good movie that, has Christmas in it. And the performances are really great and stuff like that too. Obviously it's not a perfect movie, but whatever. All right, so let's go ahead and get cracking on the actual list. Hit us with your number 10.
Okay. My number 10 is, and it's very much like what you just described that movie as, Meet Me in St. Louis with Judy Garland. It's
that was, I looked at that.
That's a movie that escapes me.
I looked at that. I was going to put it on the honorable mentions, but
because
I knew that you were going to bring it up. I knew that you were going to bring it up. So
it's one of those that it's all
very good.
4 seasons.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But the Christmas season, it's a year leading up to the 1904 World's Fair.
Yeah.
That was out there. And and it's about a family. It's set, back in, obviously 1903.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that you hear the song "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas."
Oh, okay.
It was directed by Vincent Minnelli, who she married 6 months later, and then had Liza Minnelli. So
Judy Garland is really, really good in the movie.
Yeah,
if you're looking for a non-Dorothy Judy Garland performance, she is genuinely, like, even today's standards, she is really good in the movie.
Yes, this is a really, really good music, good songs written for it, other than not just "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." It's also sometimes thought of and brought up in lists
Easter.
of no, that's Easter Parade you're thinking about.
Oh, right.
Halloween, because that was the other one that, because you get to see what Halloween was like back in
then.
that time and what they did.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's
it was very interesting. But yeah, the Christmas thing was a big part of it, because
and it's almost two ways with the Halloween thing. It's almost two ways, because you get to see what Halloween was like in 1904 through a 1940s lens.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not even like how they would make Halloween in 1904 now. It's like how they saw it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah. I love that. I love that movie. And it's the Christmas part of it, like I said, is a big, huge part of it. And because I mean, then they get into spring after that, which is going to the fair. So,
all right. So, what is your number 9?
Number 9, Home Alone 2.
Lost in New York.
Yeah. I really like this one. It's just that
did not make my list.
It didn't. It was. I don't know what it is. Well, it might be the Donald Trump appearance, but no. But I really liked it because I liked to see the whole New York. I just love anything that shows New York City, because I've never been there, and especially like at the holidays. I did like the storyline. I felt like some
weren't
of
you
it...
in an airport in New York City?
Huh?
Weren't you in an airport in New York City?
Let's not go
We
there.
don't have to talk about it, but I thought, yeah.
You can ask Shannon about
Was it
that one.
LaGuardia?
No.
Or JFK?
Or yeah, look, I think it was JFK. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
It was
continue.
all a blur. But anyway, yeah.
You were lost in New York.
I was.
Yeah.
And with your sister, who was only like, I think 14 at the time. We lost our luggage too, I think.
Oh, jeez.
If I remember correctly.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, I liked it, but it wasn't as memorable as the first one. And I didn't care for the fact that they used a lot of what was in the first one. Not even like the traps and stuff. I just mean like
the story beats.
Well, the part of like in the hotel room when he was trying to freak out, the
Tim
people,
Curry.
Tim Curry and them. He
Tim
did
Curry's
the same...
so good in that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That was... he's not in a lot of it, but what he is, of course, he's Tim Curry. He's amazing.
I love when Kevin...
I love you.
He go, well, yeah, but... Yeah, he's so good. Oh, my God. Tim Curry's so good. But when Kevin says, like... Hello, this is the father. And he's like instead of just like...
Because he just slowed himself saying it down.
He just says the father instead of like... Hey, John or whatever, whatever his dad's name is, like.
But I loved, of course, that the mom found him at the tree. As soon as she thought of a Christmas tree, she knew exactly where he was. That was cool. I liked stuff like that. But like him replaying, like the angels with dirty faces kind of stuff again to freak them out. It was like they could have thought of something a little different. I think. Right. But
so, what is your number 8?
Number 8 is A Christmas Story.
Oh, okay.
Now, I do get a little tired of it because it does play a lot over and over. But I like the nostalgia of it. Obviously, I was not around in 1940 when it was set.
Yeah.
But still, like, you heard a lot from, like, grandparents and stuff of what things were like then, and just hearing those stories and then seeing it on screen. And most people pick out things like, the lamp and him in the bunny suit and stuff like that. What I loved about it was things like when the dogs came in and took the turkey and stuff the dad, all the frustrations of the dad just reminded me of my father. He loved Christmas, but he would get so frustrated because it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like the dads are like, just kind of there. Yeah. And they just can't enjoy it.
Right.
And so I thought he played that brilliantly. I just loved that. So that's why I put that one on there. My number 7 was the Santa Claus, the first one.
That is a punt.
Okay.
So
we will wait.
What is your number 6?
My number 6 is Elf.
That is not on my list.
Are you kidding?
Oh wait, so when do I say it's a punt?
If it's your 5 or higher.
5 or high. Oh, so you mean like 5 to 1?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a punt for me. It's on my list.
Okay.
So I can talk about
it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's Elf. I don't know.
I really like the movie. Like, I mean, I feel like if you watch this show, I'm a big Jon Favreau fan of anything he does. Like, it's a really funny movie.
It's funny,
yeah. But it doesn't like. I'm not like, oh, it's Christmas time. Let's watch it.
I'm with you on that. I would be like, that's not one I'm like, oh, I need to watch Elf. Like, I really like Elf, and I have like, I feel like that's
it's
one
really good.
Like, I look back at it, I'm like, oh yeah, I watch it in like school,
The problem is there are dozens of really good Christmas movies.
Yeah.
You know what I know. It's like,
it's
very hard.
That's why it was the same thing like TJ said. It wasn't like, I sort of based, especially my top 5 in what do when I think of Christmas and like the week leading up or, going into New Year's, what do I have to sit down and watch? What do I have to find out which streaming it's on or whatever? And Elf, I know it'll be on and I know I'll watch it, but it's not like, oh my God, where's this? Oh my God, where's it? When are they doing this? I don't want to miss it. That kind of thing. So that's why it's in 6.
Yeah.
But I do love it. And nice. I'm as little as he was in it, I am an enormous Dinklage fan, and he played that
so good.
Unbelievably. Call me an elf one more time. And he goes, he's like,
he's an angry elf.
Oh yeah, he's an angry elf. It was so great.
Like,
I just love
buddy.
him.
Yeah.
All right, so what is your
next?
10?
I just want real quick. I just want to read Geek Style Tendencies kind of Christmas movies.
Oh yeah,
they put Christmas with the Cranks, The Holiday, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, The Family Man. They had Santa Claus movie 1985, and then they also had the Santa Claus 1984.
I think they mean 1995.
Oh, okay. Bad Santa, Anna and the Apocalypse, and those are just a few that they listed off in the chat there. So my 10 is Jack Frost.
Oh.
Wow, and that's a new watch for you.
That is a new watch of 2 weeks ago.
Really?
I think I had never seen it before. Danielle was like, "You gotta watch Jack Frost."
One might say recency bias.
It might be. I get it, man. It's a ridiculous premise, and you had it in your honorable mentions.
But it's damn good.
It's pretty good. It's good, and I was surprised.
100% would be in my top 15.
And I was just kind of like, I was watching it, and
Michael Keaton is.
And
so
as soon
good.
as we get to the end, and with them together, the three, I was crying. I don't know about everybody else, but I looked at Danielle. I was like, "Why you gotta do this to me? Why you gotta make it so sad?" And in my head, I'm like, I know he's not coming back to life, but. We have like this.
Whoa! Spoiler.
Sorry, spoiler for Jack Frost.
JK, he dies in like the first 5 minutes.
He does.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not really a spoiler.
And the whole kind of like him teaching him the hockey shot.
Oh my god!
Even when he's a snowman,
it's
and
such a
they're
good
on
movie.
the ice, and I'm like, oh come on, like
it's
that's
so
just
good.
so nice.
It's like,
and,
can't my dad just be a snowman forever? Like,
Right.
And that's another thing. I was like, what are they gonna do when the sun comes
like,
around?
It's kind of like Olaf, right?
Kind of like Olaf,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everything that a snowman does in summer.
Not gonna lie though, snowman, it's a little creepy. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, he looks a little scary to me, but
it always reminded me, like, the Jack Frost snowman always reminded me of the same snowman design from the Campbell's chicken noodle soup commercial.
That melts
when the kid is the snowman.
When they have the soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to that. We should have done top 10 Christmas commercials that run that have run for the past 35
There's
years.
probably as many of those as the
Hershey
movies.
Kisses, bells or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
See, now
That's
when we were young, and they don't do it, I don't think anymore because they probably don't sell them like this, but the Norelco Santa was the big thing. They had a Santa Claus on a Norelco electric shaver, and it was like a sled.
Oh.
And literally that was the thing that people, somebody even posted it today and said that was, to me, Christmas started when the Norelco snowman commercial came on.
My 9.
Yep.
My 9 is Elf. So we already talked about that.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
My number 8 is It's a Wonderful Life.
Is that a punt for you, Mom? Is it in your top 5?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you haven't said it yet, so yeah, punt.
Number 7 is Home Alone 1.
That's a punt.
That's a punt. And then 6 is The Grinch live action.
That is
Jim
a punt.
Carrey. Okay.
All right, you're done. Okay, you get nothing. Good day, sir. Right? Yeah. Okay, so we are going to be circling back to a lot of those. It sounds like.
Thank you, TJ.
So I'm very interested because we have seemingly there's a lot of commonality going around, but not a lot of placement commonality.
Yeah.
These ones I don't know if any. I don't know if the next few I'm going to name are going to be on your list yet. Number 10. My number 10 is, yes, it's creepy, but when I think. So the criteria that I did was number 1. How Christmassy does it make me feel? That is the number, and I know that's an intangible thing to say, but it's a to quote JC, not Jesus Christ, the other one. All film is subjective.
Yeah.
The leaker extraordinaire.
Yeah.
That is my number 1 criteria. Second, then it's like, personal enjoyment level and quality. But number 1, it's just how Christmassy does it make me feel. So yes, it's creepy, but man, I feel Christmas every time I watch this, especially towards the end. And that's number 10 is the Polar Express.
That's a punt.
Okay. Fair enough. I did not think that was going to be on anyone's list. Okay. Oh, well, I should have figured. I mean, we're the same age. Like it was a very big movie. My number 9, I don't know if it's going to be on anyone's list. I know I've talked to one of you in this room about it recently. It is a very new Christmas movie, and I love this movie. I watch this movie every year. I've watched it twice so far this December. I just love it so much. Daddy's Home 2.
Oh, yeah.
With Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell.
We just talked about that.
It is so funny and it is so Christmassy. It ends with the whole cast in a movie theater singing. They're all snowed into a movie theater and they all sing. Do they know it's Christmas? And John Cena is fantastic in it.
Yes.
As Roger. It's just a really, really great movie. And it's got like great family stuff, but it's got really good, just Christmas stuff. It is just so Christmassy, and I really enjoy watching that every year. And like I said, it's pretty new. I mean, it's 2017. Where's Daddy's Home 3?
Yeah, I remember when we had it. At AMC.
Me too. It was really good. My number 8 might be a punt. Although it might be a punt, it might not qualify for this list. My number 8 is technically a Thanksgiving movie.
I know what you're gonna say.
But it is very holiday-y, and it's very might as well be Christmas. If they just substituted the word Thanksgiving for Christmas, it's a Christmas movie. So I included it, and it's only this low, I would say, maybe because of that. And that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Is that a punt?
Oh my lord!
It is not a punt, but
okay.
It's not a punt for me. I thought of my honorable mention. Again, I've seen it once, but that is one that I watched for the first time, I think, last year.
Oh, really?
It was very funny and, everything. That's an honorable mention.
I like it.
Yeah, the only reason...
My wife likes me.
Yeah, the only
my
reason
kids
it wasn't on mine was because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And that's why it's like, but it's so, like, Christmassy. It's like, and it's the, it's not necessarily about Christmas, but it's about getting home for the holidays.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what the whole movie's about. Literally, if they didn't say the word Thanksgiving and said the word Christmas instead, it would
I remember it as a Christmas movie.
Nothing else about the movie would change.
Yeah. Those aren't pillows.
Yeah, exactly. But like everything about that movie is just so good.
And it just John Candy, when you realize that everything he's been telling Steve Martin all along was not it was true, but she's his wife.
Yeah.
It just is like nobody saw that coming.
And it's just so good.
Partially filmed here, by the way.
But yeah, so good. That's why it's my number 8, just because I felt like it would be wrong to put it like super high up because it's not technically Christmas. But that's why it's like we're doing, it's holiday movie, so I guess, I'll include it. So my number 7, I'm assuming this is going to be a punt, is Home Alone. The first one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a punt.
Okay. That's a
punt.
Okay. Oh, you already
said it. Yeah.
Oh, right. But yeah, that's a punt for you. And then my number 6 might be a punt, might not be. Again, a more modern one. I guess maybe I can't really say that because it's 14 years old, but I mean it's not like a 80s, like 70s, 80s, or 90s. So 2007's Fred Claus. Is that a punt?
No,
anyone?
but
Okay.
I love.
Have you
that
seen
movie
that?
Too.
Who is
Vince Vaughn plays Santa Claus.
Oh no, I've never seen that. No.
Okay.
Oh wait. I feel maybe I have. I have to look at the poster.
Where he's Santa Claus's brother.
I fucking love this movie. I watched this movie, 2 or 3 times. I haven't watched it yet, but
I have not seen it now.
That's because I do.
You should.
I do most of my Christmas watching like really leading up to it.
Yeah.
And I've just been watching so much other stuff with like and listening to Harry Potter books and stuff. By the way, I'm almost done with Order of the Phoenix.
Oh jeez.
It's really good. But yeah, number 6, Fred Claus. Unfortunately, it has He Who Must Not Be Named.
I see that
in it. But he is very good. I'll say Frank Underwood. Look it up if I don't. I don't.
Oh, we
I don't
got
wanna...
Higgins in this. Jeremy Swift, Higgins, and Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Wow,
absolutely. Sorry, I was not.
There's a lot of
my
people
brain
on
was
this.
my
Jesus
brain
Christ.
was not in Ted
No, you're
Lasso
good.
mode. But I'll throw as my number 1 on this list the Ted Lasso Christmas.
Oh,
episode
yeah.
for this year. If I could include
Remember
that.
I said, can we watch that on Christmas? Because it just is so.
Oh
Christmas.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so like heartwarming too. But yeah, that's the most Christmassy. But yeah, Fred Claus is so good. Frank Underwood is is very good in his role.
He is the villain.
He is the villain of the movie. That is true.
So it works.
Yeah, but he is very good. And then, you know, moving past that, Paul Giamatti as Santa is just out of this world. I mean, you know, if you loved him in such roles as Rhino, you will love this performance. But actually, I don't want to make a joke of it.
Or John Adams.
I want to be very serious. Don't even get me started on John Adams. That is one of the. I'm not even kidding. That is maybe my favorite miniseries of all time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I
know you said it before.
Yeah, oh yeah. I just got very serious very fast. But that is like that's going back to like my want for it to be like a history teacher. Like that is John Adams is so good. Anyways, but yeah, Paul Giamatti is so good. But I don't want to. It is funny like to compare it to Rhino, but he is genuinely funny, but also like there is a lot of heart and family drama in this movie that is very like serious. And like some of the more serious scenes between him and Vince Vaughn is like very, very good. Like really good. You know, as you could imagine what the movie's about, you know, Santa's brother, you know, it's kind of a Thor Loki. It's kind of like a Thor Loki dynamic. So it's like, you know, a lot of Vince Vaughn is, you know, living in, you know, his shadow, which is, you know, it's a big shadow. And so when those kind of tensions come to blows in the movie, it's very, very good. And it's also it's very sad too. There's a lot of stuff with Santa that, you know, Santa's it's not really a spoiler, but like Santa's like depressed in the movie. Okay. Like that's like what part, like it's a comedy. It's for sure a comedy, but there's a lot of things in it that are
everything.
Yeah, it's very like, you know, and there's elements of that in the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies too, where it's like it is a job and it's very stressful. Like you know, whatever amount of magic he has, it's still a guy trying to get all this together. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I like that, like in like Santa movies, that like with like a little more realism of like, yes, there's Christmas magic involved, and yes, there's usually like freezing of time or whatever you want to call it, but it's still very stressful, like in taxing on him. Like he's like, you know, he's got health concerns like in this movie and stuff. It's just a really, really good movie. Yeah. But yeah, and there's a lot of fun like elf shenanigans and antics and stuff, which is really funny too. But yeah, Vince Vaughn, you know, it's really, really good. He gives one of the best monologues in film history.
Oh yeah,
because he's a Renaissance like mover or like a repossession mover, or a repo guy for like furniture and stuff for Renaissance. And so he takes this girl's TV at the start of the movie, and there's like a blow up or like a, you know, whatever, you know, plastic whatever Santa Claus on her lawn, and she's like you can't take my TV, and he goes on this like 3-minute monologue about how TV's terrible for you, and he's like, you know, what you think the big guy's gonna come bring you another nice TV? He's like best thing for you is, you know, he's like who helped you, you know, the big guy or me, Fred? And he's like best things for you to lose the TV is like you watch TV 20 30 hours a day, you know, you rot your brain, you drop out of school, you get hooked on drugs, you know, then you end up, you meet a nice guy, you think he's a nice guy, and then sooner than later, you know it, and he says one of the best lines ever. He goes you look in the mirror one day, you're pregnant with child. He's like, just when he's the way that Vince Vaughn says pregnant with child is just like so fucking funny. But really, that whole scene is so like, it's just such a good movie. Also, another shout out, it has one of the best Santa fights in movie history. Oh my god! There is a sequence that involves about 45 Santas in a brawl. Yeah. And it's very, very funny. Yeah. And again, it's like just super heartwarming and stuff. There's a lot of stuff in it about like an orphanage that's and like there's so much going on. But it's a really good movie. That was my number 6, Fred Claus.
That was your number 6?
Yeah. I might watch Fred Claus tonight. All right, so then what is your number 5?
I just want to mention a couple people. I had put sort of almost a poll online to see what people's number 1 favorite was, and Polar Express was one of them. The Grinch. I'm not sure which Grinch it was. Let's see. It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Story, The Grinch again, Nightmare Before Christmas,
341,
Krampus.
Oh yeah.
White Christmas.
Come on, Parker. Give
Another
a
Meet Me in St. Louis. Rudolph. Jingle All the Way. Another Jack Frost. A lot of people like Jack Frost.
Nice.
So what am I doing? Just my number.
Your number 5.
5. I did number 5 was It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, there you go. Was that on your list?
Yeah,
oh, is that
it was
one?
No, it was my 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, another one that just, it's kind of old fashioned and all that kind of stuff, but one of the best things Jimmy Stewart ever did.
Mm-hmm.
It was just amazing. Just the performances, Frank Capra directing it, of course. I don't know why it didn't get an Oscar, but yeah, I just love the whole thing. Where he feels like he just wish he wasn't born, and then he gets that sort of wish from the angel and everything, and then you see all that, what it would be like in the town, and of course Mr. Potter owns everything, so everything is like, their versions of like whatever a porn store would be.
I saw something like, it was like this scene from It's a Wonderful Life still holds up so well, and it's the one where he's like, you know how long it takes a working man to save up $5,000, and it's like, if truer words have not been not been spoken.
Even in 2021,
50 years apart, and it's like,
how many times have I said if I just had $5,000?
Yeah, like literally,
like, it hasn't changed.
Yeah,
but yeah, just for the performances, and another one that is very heartwarming, of course, and just the whole showing you what, I think everybody would love to see what it would really be like had you not been there. Right. It's sort of like a travel back in time, but with a twist. Mm-hmm. So I just love all that. And then when they have everybody in the house bringing the money because his uncle lost the money that was supposed to go to the bank, and everybody shows up with money and everything from the town, and his brother comes back. And he's, does that toast where he says, my brother, the richest man in town. And, showing that he was rich because of the people and because of how he is with everybody. It wasn't about money or going off and seeing all these countries and things. He always wanted to go on adventures. And he ended up a family man and all those kinds of things. It was just amazing. And I love to see it every year. And it's one of those that I'm like, okay, what station is it on this year, because that can change.
Yeah. Sorry, real quick. Yeah, it's I've only seen it once, and that was last year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's definitely one that I don't like. You
were there. You went to the bridge.
I did go to the bridge recently, like a few weeks ago. It's probably not. I'm gonna try to watch it before Christmas. It's how long is it? Like 2.5 hours, right?
Somewhere.
No, it's definitely streaming. I think it's on Prime or something like that. But yeah, just another Christmas movie that kind of makes me feel all Christmassy, I guess.
It's 2:10.
Oh, okay. I thought it was longer than that. So what is it? My 5?
No, her 4.
Oh, okay. My 4 is Christmas Vacation.
That's a punt.
Okay.
Kind of figured.
So then you're 5.
5. My 5 is the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, the Rankin Bass, like the claymation.
Yes, the claymation one. This is starting to from this list on is basically like what you said, like what makes me feel the most Christmassy and what I remember as a kid. Absolutely. And just right now. And this is one that was always on around this time multiple times. And again, a lot of these, or at least 2 of these, are ones that my dad just like loved. He always loved to watch with like me and my sister. And
all my top 5 is that except for 1.
Yeah. And yeah, just I don't know, it just makes me think back to like when I was a kid and just simpler times, I guess.
You seem to have a thing for Rudolph, I have to say.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I've watched the 3D one more than this one, but the 3D one was it's not as cherished as this one, I guess.
Oh, I was just trying to remember, because I think I have a condition or something that I just have like lines of dialogue in my head over and over again. And I just heard somebody going, what it comes down to, at the end of the day is just like Christmas magic. And I was like, what is that from? And I remember it's from an SNL sketch with Kyle Mooney, and I was like, I can't think of. It's like they were making fun of the podcast. I don't know if you guys know, like Serial, the podcast.
Yes.
But it's basically just podcasts in general, and it's a podcast about Santa, and it's like trying to find it, and it's like, who is this guy? Where is? And it's like Kyle Mooney plays Santa, and he's like, you know, what it comes down to at the end of the day is just like, you know, people ask me, how does he do it? How does he do it? And, you know, at the end of the day, it's just, you know, Christmas magic. And and just the way that he says that, I would put that on my list. I was just trying to figure out if that was a movie that I was forgetting, and it was not at all. But, oh, my God.
We could even do a SNL Christmas sketch one. There's
been
enough of them.
A dozen, like, every year. But, yeah. Okay, so what is your 4?
My 4 is, and this is the only one on here that's kind of like, is it a movie? But I think this
is it
just,
a movie?
It's not really. It's not a movie, really, but it's still like, you know, this is like a must watch for me. Is Charlie Brown Christmas?
Oh, it's not a punt, but yeah, classic.
This is just again this same thing as Rudolph. Like, this is my dad always loved us. He loved watching like the. I feel like I'm making it sound like he's like passed away. He's still very much
yeah.
Sorry. But he loves watching every like Charlie Brown holiday special. So whether it be like the Thanksgiving, the Halloween, but this is just another one that just kind of makes me think of when I was younger and you know, just sitting around the TV and watching this like a few times a year.
Yeah. Awesome. Forgot what I was just gonna say. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, same thing. I mean, like, I watched it all the time as a kid and stuff. And I will throw on, if that's on your list, I'll throw an honorable mention that it maybe would have gone on my list if I thought more about it as including it. I will include, because it is an hour and a half, but it is a TV episode. I will include White Christmas, the Black Mirror episode, White Christmas. That's the one with John Hamm. Super dark, but oddly very Christmassy and just super, super good. And that is one that I watch every year because of Christmas. And it is dark. It's not like a lighthearted, you know, but I mean, not everything Christmas is, you know, lighthearted comedies or something. But yeah, that is so good. And I'll include that as an honorable mention for sure. Black Mirror, White Christmas. Super good. And it's like, it uses like, it's just super good. Yeah.
Super good. Yeah.
So my number 5 is I invented children.
That's a
punt. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, so I'm not even gonna say the name. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Well, of course it's a punt. So my number 4, which I think was a punt from earlier, but it might still be a punt for you. Okay. My number 4 is 2000's How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
No, I don't have that.
Really? Holy shit. So, okay, so that was the one I was talking about with Santa Claus 3, with it being like, you know, more of just my personal love for it, more than the Christmas.
Yeah. Right?
No. I'm just saying the Santa Claus 3 for right now.
No, I know. But the Grinch one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that one was the one that was, you know, a little more personal preference than Christmassy. It is very Christmassy though, but we'll talk about it when we get there. But the top 4 are for sure through and through. These are my top 4 most. When it's Christmas, I am going to watch these as many times as I can. I love these movies. I've seen these movies dozens of times through and through, start to finish, everything. And so yeah, number 4 is How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I don't even know what to say. It's just amazing. You know, you're 12 years old and you have a beard. You know, like, you know, oh, Martha, oh, Christmas. The fires of love. You know, it's fantastic.
Just the performance, too.
You two are still living? So
just the performance that Jim Carrey's able to give and all that prosthetic makeup that he had to go through CIA training to freaking, you know, get through and... You know,
when he's doing the mail.
Yeah. Ron Howard did that, right?
Yeah, that was Ron. Yeah, that was a Ron Howard joint.
For some reason, I always thought, and again, I think it was kind of just because I also love Cat in the Hat, the movie. I always thought that was Mike Myers for some reason as the Grinch as well.
Yeah, I know.
But Jim Carrey.
Very similar.
Yeah.
So good. Like just the jury duty, blackmail. Yeah.
Did you watch?
You're an idiot.
Did you watch the animated one from like 2 years ago
with Benedict Cumberbatch? Yeah, that was really good.
That was a good
I'll throw
one.
that. Actually, I have a couple more honorable mentions that I just thought of. I will throw the 2018 Grinch on there because, you're remaking the Grinch. Why? I think for a new generation of people, that's a really good movie, and it's super based, on the original animated Grinch. Way less than the Jim Carrey one, obviously. But I think it was really good. I think Benedict Cumberbatch was really good as the Grinch.
He did really well.
But yeah, I really like that movie. I'll definitely put that on as an honorable mention. And then my other two honorable mentions is actually I won't even single out a movie, but I would say more the first two. But I'll throw the entire franchise of Harry Potter on as an honorable mention. But definitely Sorcerer's Stone and definitely Chamber of Secrets. I mean, they more so Sorcerer's Stone, but then you have like Prisoner of Azkaban is very Christmassy. They all have a Christmas segment because every Harry Potter movie takes place over the course of a year.
Right.
But the first three really dive into the Christmas stuff, especially Prisoner of Azkaban. Like half that movie takes place at Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
Yeah, exactly. I've got presents. But yeah. Number 4, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So good. All right, so now your 3.
My 3. My number 3 was the original Home Alone.
Okay.
So that was
yeah,
my
punt
7.
from earlier. Yeah, it was my 7. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So talk about
it. Okay. Just classic, obviously. It's one of those that you always yell at me for watching things on regular TV still with the commercials. But it's like if I find something like Home Alone, I don't care if I have to wait for the commercials because it's Home Alone. And I just love it. There's just so much about it. Macaulay Culkin was unbelievable as young as he was and all this kind of stuff. I just loved it. And I don't know. I loved all the ways that he fixed up the house and stuff like that. And it just was so cool how it just went from one thing to the other and they just kept getting more and more. How do you just go with that? That first pain is awful. And then you're getting hit in the head with something else. And oh my God, it was just great. And just a lot of the way that they decided to do things like the moving the cardboard things on the track so they'd think somebody was home.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really good. And of course, then the whole Angels with Dirty Faces thing and scaring off like the pizza guy and all of that. And just the whole thing of like the fighting in the beginning before they even left and everything where he spilled the milk all over everything. And it was just everything about that was great. The casting was amazing. There just isn't, I don't think there's a bad moment in it. It's just so much fun to watch.
Yeah. And
everything. And it doesn't get much Christmassier than that, and stuff. So, their mom like realizing he wasn't with them. Like, I know I forgot something. Did we close the garage? And then the dad's like, that's it. I didn't close the garage. And it's funny. And it's funny because later you see the garage isn't closed, but the car is bigger than the garage. So how could they have closed it anyway? Like, I know that seems really random, but every time I see that movie, I think of that. But I just loved it. It's just one of those that I have to see it. I don't care if it's on network television with commercials. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you on the whole like kind of just like seeing how all this stuff connects to this other like I always immediately think of like I don't know. Maybe everybody in high school does this. Did you build like a Rube Goldberg machine in high school?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that's what it makes me think of. I love things like that. This thing, the marble has to move down the track to hit this, and then that happened. And I just love Joe Pesci.
Oh yeah, that was a really good one.
Marv. Oh my god, so good. Okay, so what is your 3?
My
Oh, his computer died.
Losing it.
My 3 is Santa Claus 3.
Oh, there you go.
Santa Claus 3. I'm assuming
invented
you said
you.
this was your what?
My 5.
Your 5.
Yeah.
I
So
know it's
good.
the worst one out of the 3.
But it's the best one.
It's
out
the
of
best.
3.
Like this is the one we had on DVD. This is the one I would watch all the time, even not in Christmas. Like this just
because
movie.
it's the one that was new when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when did the first one come out? Like
94.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's like, and this one was what, like
06.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so it was kind of later, but yeah, just like Martin Short as Jack Frost and him and he's like, I mean, because we joked about it when we were watching the second one like those weeks ago, and we're like, that Santa Claus is really just like a Nazi, like he's just like,
yeah, no, literally,
like and,
ho ho ho, like that's literally just like the plastic.
Yeah, but just like though
when he goes.
Yeah, it's just like every quip that Martin Short has in this movie, and just the invented chill, and oh my god, it's just it just makes, again, like all these movies.
What are you gonna do? Shoot me to death?
And all these movies just like take me back to when I was a kid watching this and having this DVD. Is crazy.
Do you ever just think that maybe that you never want to be Santa at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes, maybe I never want to be Santa at all. Like just the Martin Short is so
just
good.
when he's like the snow globe like does the thing, and and he's like holding
Yeah. Oh my god! And then of course the beautiful musical number in the middle, North Pole. Come meet Santa. Yes, I'm Santa. It's like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
It's so terrible. It's funny.
I know.
Oh god.
And then also on a real note, a lot of the movie is garbage, but I actually really like the stuff of like the alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Where it was like, what happens if he never did that, and it's like it just gets so
and
much
then he's,
worse.
like, in the background and everything.
Yeah.
She's pregnant, and what's her name? Is pregnant in this one too, right? His wife. Miss
Yeah,
Claus?
yeah. And at the end, they give birth. That's why.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
does this take place in the same universe as Elf? Because they give birth to Buddy Claus, but it's like Buddy is not Santa's son.
No.
Like, but yeah. So my number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my number 3 might be a punt. Super Christmassy, super sad, but super Christmassy. My number 3 is Love Actually.
Punt.
Not on the list.
Yeah. Not on the list at all.
I've never seen that. Now Danielle actually just saw it, I think, for the first time the other day. Yeah,
What'd she
sorry,
say?
I've never seen it. She liked it.
Oh, good.
Oh god, people are freaking botting again in the chat.
Number 2 is next for.
Yeah, well, I want to talk a little bit Love Actually. Oh no,
well,
sorry,
it's a
it's a
punt
punt.
for-
It's a punt. Yeah. So what's your number 2?
So you say you want to talk about Love Actually.
Oh,
Number
okay.
2.
There you go. There you
Yep.
go.
There
yeah.
it is. Yeah. I mean, that was our family's go-to movie.
Well, one of them.
Yeah, one of them.
More recent, I would say.
Yeah, I would say.
Within the last 10 years, not in
Yeah.
the last 25 years.
Yeah, me and the kids always have certain movies like that. Even if nobody else liked it, Xanadu, it's like thought of as part of the fabric of our family. And Love Actually is like that. I think for us, it just great cast again.
It's the original, multiple storyline
Right.
meeting up at the end,
Before Valentine's Day
tons
and all
of
the
tons of couples,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, it's got amazing performances and a really good, heartwarming message and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like Hugh Grant, I feel like is probably the best, role in the movie. I guess I would say. I don't really know how to describe it because everybody pretty much has equal screen time.
more important, I guess, role just because of who he plays.
Yeah, and he does the narration and stuff like that too. So,
and if you think about it, the whole reason that he's talking about it is because, he's prime minister.
Yeah.
And it was right after 9/11.
Yeah, that's what the movie opens with.
Yeah, so that's how it opens with and everything. And it's just his dance sequence.
Yeah. And also, like, again, it's like a lot of these, the comedy elements are really good, but, like, the seriousness of, like, everything that's happening with, it's got, like, Andrew Lincoln, Rick from Walking Dead, like, he's in, like, everything that's happening with him and Chiwetel Ejiofor and Keira Knightley's storyline, like, that's like
that's a tough
really
one.
sad.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, it really sucks.
Well, you want to talk about sad in that movie.
Well, yeah, Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not just that, but just what happens in the marriage between, just went out of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson, for sure. Like, this, probably like, Liam Neeson's thing is, like, a sadness happens before the movie starts, and it's him dealing with it, but it's also him finding this new relationship with his son and reconnecting over the holidays and stuff. Yeah, stepson too. Yeah, so, like, adopted son, basically. But then definitely, like, the most weight comes with everything that happened, and I won't spoil anything about that, because, like, just with what happens with Alan Rickman and Emma Thompson's marriage is really, really deep. But, like, yeah, just, like, it's mid Harry Potter's, and like, the furthest thing from Snape of all time. Like, he's just playing, just a regular guy. Like, and he's so good, and he's a
midlife crisis guy.
Exactly. Yeah, he's definitely in the midst of, he feels like, everything he probably ever did was a mistake. Like, what's led me to this stuff? So then he makes more mistakes. Like, he's not a bad guy at all. It's just, it's one of those things where it's just one mistake after another that he thinks is him trying to improve, and it's like, no, but you're not seeing it from her perspective,
right?
And it's like, and it's just like, all that stuff is so good. And then the scene with where she puts the CD in and just has that like breakdown is like, oh my god, so terrible. And then she just has to wipe away her tears and act like nothing's happening and stuff, because she needs to keep the family together, and it's like there's so much else going on with her brother, and then with her also being there for Liam Neeson's character and like dealing with all that, like she's trying to like keep everything together, almost across every storyline, you know what I mean? And it's like it's putting so much pressure on Emma Thompson, and then she's dealing with keeping all that together, but then also everything within her immediate own relationship, which is like falling apart.
Yeah, because it's one of those two that everybody's connected and intertwined in some way, and you don't even find out till the end how that is even. But the other thing too, another sort of depressing storyline is Laura Linney's storyline with her brother. So that's another one. But then you have all of that sort of stuff going on with these different relationships, and then you have
Colin,
Bill Nye.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Bill Nye.
Oh,
like Bill Nye. Not like Bill Nye.
Okay. Oh my god.
British Bill Nye.
Yeah. So hysterical.
Doctor Who and pirates. Not science guy.
Yeah, but oh my god, absolutely just hysterical. And they play that song on like the Christmas music channels now and everything, and I just love it.
I feel it in my fingers. But yeah, so good.
Yeah,
Love Actually is just like incredible.
Definitely got to see it.
We didn't even talk about like half of the like. Then there's Colin Firth, Martin Freeman.
I saw there's a lot of people.
So many. Everybody's a huge.
It's like the British version of all the Gary Marshall films from here. Valentine's Day and Mother's Day and all those things. But I mean that's something that I'll watch probably 10 times the next week or so, and everything. And I pull it up during the year.
Oh yeah, and Rowan Atkinson.
We
didn't talk about that. Like,
yes,
so good.
I learned how to put together a nice.
Yeah.
Nice
but you said
Christmas
you wanted it gift wrapped. Yes, but I don't want it. Like Alan Rickman, just like he's like, oh, just the finishing touch, just a sprig of holly, and Alan Rickman's like, I don't want the bloody holly. Just put it away. He's like, oh my god, that scene is so freaking funny.
Really
like,
great.
He's like, but you said you wanted it gift wrapped, sir. I don't understand. He's like,
oh my god.
Oh my god, it's so freaking funny.
Yeah.
You
lot of
definitely
good
need
stuff.
to watch it.
Yeah.
Like you guys
it's on
definitely
the
need
list.
to watch it. Okay, so what is your 2?
My 2.
Oh, that was
Love.
Love. Okay, so
actually.
what's your 2?
My 2 is Polar Express.
Oh, the punch from way earlier.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
yeah. Not on your list, I'm assuming.
No.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I've
Polar
seen little
Express.
clips of it because you guys always, say how great it is.
I've seen Polar Express at least 8 times just at school.
Yeah, probably the same.
Let alone,
Yeah, it was like Polar Express.
It was always the movie they would play, or even like Grinch they would play.
Grinch,
sometimes
yeah,
too,
Polar Express, Grinch, and maybe like a Santa Claus is on there.
Yeah, Santa Claus 2 probably.
Yeah.
Or something.
But yeah,
That's hot.
Polar Express is just, it's just, that's like ingrained to me as like a child. Like that was, I saw it. I could have sworn, I'm like thinking back, I'm like, I went
Maybe
to
they threw him from the train.
Oh no! I think his name's just Know It All, like Know It All Kid.
In the
that's
credits,
really just his name.
Because the main guy's name is Hero Boy.
Hero Boy.
Yeah, like that's.
But and Tom Hanks does a few different characters, I believe. But I mean, his most prominent to me is the conductor.
Oh, the conductor. Oh yeah.
His hot song, like the hot chocolate song, like all his songs. Groban, his right? Yeah, that song.
Children.
It's just. I'm pretty sure, like
it's a beautiful movie.
It is, and I'm pretty sure I went.
It's creepy,
to,
but it
is creepy.
beautiful.
I went to like the Riviera Theater, and I could have sworn they like played the songs on the piano or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I could be remembering that incorrectly, but yeah, that's a movie that I usually end up watching like every single year.
Yeah,
it's just
I feel like.
Oh, and then at the end when the kid comes out, he's like, he came, and the younger kid who's like, I don't know his name, but he has like the yellow pajamas on, I think.
Oh, the kid who like doesn't
have like
any
a bigger
friends.
head, kind
the kid
of.
Who,
the
kid who doesn't have the kid's just by himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad. And then just when the parents are like, "Oh, that's a shame. It doesn't work," and you're like, "Oh my god, they can't hear it."
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like that.
They don't believe.
Yeah, it just like breaks your heart because it's like no, and you know the message of the movie is, no matter what the kid does, eventually you do grow up. Like you know what I mean? Like that's like kind of the thing is that it's like you can hear it for now. You know what I mean? And that's like so sad, but that's a really great part. But I was gonna say, and I'm not saying this as a diss at all. It's my number 10, but I love that movie. I just feel, and I understand it was brand new at the time, and Robert Zemeckis wanted to just go for it. But I feel like if it was just animated in a different way, I feel like it would be. No, I like it too, but I just mean for mass appeal, because there are so many people that are just like, I just can't watch it.
Yeah.
And I understand that, but it's just like, I just feel like if they had just went with any
is it
more
the look of it, like
it's the whole movie's done with motion capture, and it's not. So
I've
like
seen bits of it, but I didn't really.
When you do motion capture, there's like scenes like what Andy Serkis does, right? Like there's scenes where you act it out, but then there's little things that you have to go back in and you have to hand animate. Like visual effects artists have to go in, tweak things, hand animate things. This movie was done 100% motion capture. Wow. So and every character. So like he said, Tom Hanks voices like 10 characters. Right. But he did the motion capture for every character.
Wow.
So there's other things too where it's like the kid, he moves like a 45-year-old Tom Hanks moves. You know what I mean? So it's like that kind of gives it a weird look too, but it's also just nothing is fine-tuned with hand animation. It's all just the raw Tom Hanks motion capture put onto the models and stuff. And it's good. Like it is good, like especially in the wider shots, but it's just like the faces kind of have that kind of rubbery almost look to them. But where I was going with it was, I think if it was animated in any other way, in any more traditional way, whether it's 2D, 3D, whatever you want to say, I think this movie would be a top list classic of everyone's. And I just feel like it's that barrier to entry of kind of like the uncanny valleyness of some of the look
just
of the
makes
characters.
It that offbeat that it just doesn't appeal to
like
everybody.
people. I just feel like it's like a little off-putting to people.
Maybe that's why I never saw it. I don't know.
But yeah,
this is what Know-It-All Kid looks like. This is the voice. Looks almost exactly like the kid in the thing.
I gotta go. Okay, so that was your 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so my 2 is the punt from earlier. Or it might have been an honorable mention. I don't know. But my number 2 is The Santa Claus.
Yeah,
That was an honorable mention?
Yeah, I just don't.
You're crazy.
I don't go
Where
back
was Santa
to
Claus
it. I
2?
go back to Santa Claus 3 the most.
That's crazy.
Is that because of Martin Short, though?
It might
See, I go back to
just
all
love.
three,
I
like-
just really like that movie.
Like, there's not a Christmas
it's the
season that
worst.
goes by. Yeah, there's not a Christmas season that goes by that I don't watch all 3.
No, yeah. See, I vividly, and I don't do as much now, but as a kid,
Yeah.
I would. We had that one on DVD, and any of the other ones didn't. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to watch the first and second. It's like I would watch the third.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Like, this was the first, like, in the day after Thanksgiving, this was the first Christmas movie I watched this year. Then, you and me and, everybody that was over, we watched Santa Claus 2, like, not a month ago, whenever it was.
Yeah, whenever it was.
Like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And then I just watched the Santa Claus 3, like, a couple days ago. But the Santa Claus, it's just, like, perfect Christmas movie to me. Like, if you want to talk Christmassy, everything about it, it's got that kind of, like, it's, if you know what I mean by this, it's got kind of like how, oh god, freaking bots are back again. Hang on here. Oh my god, there's so many. Okay, we're good. Kind of how the difference between Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets is then to the rest of the Harry Potter movies. This one, the North Pole in this movie is kind of like that. The North Pole feels old and, like it's an ancient type of thing.
Right.
Like that he's coming into this like crazy, and maybe that's it too, is it's like a fish out of water. Like he's seeing this world for the first time, so are we, kind of thing. Like I love that aspect of it, but I also just, plain and simple, I just love the aspect with him and Charlie and trying to decide what he's going to do, half not remembering it, half not believing it. Then at the end of the day, just realizing like, no, this is, it's like almost like the magic just like overwhelms him. And he's just like, no, this is who I am. You know what I mean? And I just love that whole aspect. And then of course the comedy is like amazing with, Neil, like a weenie whistle, like Judge Reinhold is just so good in it. And, mystery date. But it's such a good movie, and Tim Allen is so good as Santa Claus across all 3 movies. Tim Allen is so good as Santa, and in all the forms that he plays Scott Calvin and Santa Claus, including Plastic Claus, like, or Nazi Claus, hair Santa. If you want, I don't know what. I think maybe that's the winner. But yeah, like Tim Allen is he's just so good. Whether he's playing regular just dad at the beginning of this, or when he's full-fledged Santa in this one, the second or the third one. But it's just like, especially in this one, just the heartwarmingness of like his relationship with Charlie, and how like this was like the push that he needed basically to realize like that he needs to be better, not just for his son, but for him as well, like for Scott as a person. Like, he realizes like that he's just, and it's of no fault of his own. It's just, he's one of those people where he climbed the corporate ladder and he's just, realizing that he's like kind of beating his head against the wall his whole life. And he's like, this is an opportunity to do something different and stuff like that. And yeah, it's just really, really good.
I like the scene,
and it's a movie I can quote from start to finish.
Right. I like some of like this one scene where they go out to eat because
plain milk's fine.
Yeah, it is so like a typical dad and son sort of weekend dad feel to do that, and where the kid is just
Denny's.
disappointed.
They're always open
and everything, and he knows in his head it's much better back at mom's. It seems like so painful to watch. But I like some of the details, like just how they had the Santa business card with the whole thing around it.
Oh, yeah.
The Rose Such a
ladder
company.
It's a Rose Such a clatter. Yeah. Well, what? It's a Rose Such a clatter.
It's just so funny because those are the details that's what I always remember is the ladder thing. Somebody mentions Santa Claus, it just goes right into my head. Yeah, great movie.
And then just like when he's at the doctor, he's like, "Oh, looks like you put on a little weight." He's like, "Does this look like a little weight to you?"
Does this look like a little? Yeah, and he goes when he says, "And what about my hair? It's turning gray. You know, I shave, and by the time I'm eating breakfast, it's all back." And he goes, "Well, I mean, there's alternatives for that. You can get a hair dye, you can dye it." And he goes, "You could dye it, and you should dye it." Like just that, like just the corniness of that, like with the doctor is just so freaking funny.
And just him, the Santa names.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. What does it say? Papa Noel, Santa Claus, Papa Gijo, just Kris Kringle. I say name, you say Scott Calvin.
Oh, my Lord.
Name, Santa Claus. Oh my God, it's so.
I like
the
little elf girl that makes the hot chocolate.
Judy.
She describes how she makes it.
Got the pajamas from Judy. Judy, what? Oh, Judy was the name of the waitress at the restaurant. And it's like it's just so fucking funny. Oh my God. And then he goes, the career day. She's like, the teacher when like Neil's there and he's like, "Charlie, do you want to have your Dr. Miller?" And she's like, doesn't know what to call Neil. It's like, and then he's like, "No, I'll have my dad go." And he's like, "My dad's Santa Claus." And it's just like, oh my God. So freaking funny. And then of course I feel like we got to talk about, because we didn't talk about it with Santa Claus too, Bernard is just Bernard is so good. And I'll save it for another day, but there's definitely a when we watched Santa Claus 2, I got a lot of flack in that room for there is definitely a murder plot to get rid of the previous Santa, but I won't get into that today. I have many theories and a lot of evidence and proof, but that'll be a different video on the channel. That'll be on the Patreon. That'll be on the Patreon next year. But Bernard definitely had that Santa killed. All right. What is your number one?
My number one, and I love this movie, Four Christmases.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely love it. Again, Vince Vaughn.
It's really good.
Reese Witherspoon.
Something about Vince Vaughn and Christmas.
I don't know.
It goes together.
It's like, just amazing. And when the different places they go, when they play the game with their mother, with her mother, or not her mother, it was his mother. And what is that game called again? I can't remember the name of it. Where they're just they have to read these things off, but they can't say anything that's like what
catchphrase.
What maybe
like
it's that.
Yeah.
Where he said he said something and she constantly buzzes him because it's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to explain to her the game and everything. And he goes, and it was supposed to be shish kebab or something. And he's like, "It's shish.
Yeah.
Like that. And just, oh my God.
I just remember too in that the whole nativity play.
Oh my God.
So they like
glory to God.
Yeah, like so Vince Vaughn has to fill in last second playing Joseph. And he just hams it up, and he's like the one time so like she's playing Mary and like she has Jesus, and he goes swaddle the child, and then she's like, "What do you mean? I don't know." And they're like fighting over that, and then he just grabs Jesus and he goes, "Forgive her, Father, for she knows not what she does." And it's just like, and then what she said, he's just like, "Glory to God."
Yeah.
It's like he's like being a priest or something.
Oh
like,
my God.
it's just so funny. Vince Vaughn is so good in that movie.
And the jump.
Oh yeah, the trampoline.
She's afraid of the
bounce
bouncy house
Yeah.
and everything, and that they show all these pictures to him of when she was little and she was fat, and they sent her to fat camp and all this kind of stuff. So think of Reese Witherspoon is supposed to have been this fat child,
right?
And all this stuff, and oh my God, it was
Cootie Kate.
Cootie Kate. They called her Cootie Kate. All the kids and everything, and then she got
really good movie.
Locked or something in the jump, or they teased her in the jump, and wouldn't let her out.
Yeah, they wouldn't let her out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So then, of course, it happens again because there's a jump in the backyard, and all the kids are in it, and she has to chase down her niece who took a pregnancy test thing from her, and she kept saying, "Oh, it's a marker." So she took it and everything, and they're all trying to throw it away from her so she won't catch it because she doesn't know what it says and all this stuff. And it was, oh my God, so funny. And they just go and they visit all these, all the people in the family.
Is 4 Christmases because they go to the 4 sets of the in-laws.
Because they're all divorced, so there's 4
so
instead
his
of just
mom's
2.
house, his dad's house, her mom's house, her dad's house.
Gotcha.
So it's it's 4 sets of in-laws.
And they're just like your typical sort of like a yuppie couple. They work sort of corporate jobs or something. I don't even know if they say what it is, but they lie to everybody invites them every year, but the 2 of them lie and say that we're
out of town,
they'll say that they're doing like some sort of charity work in another country and things like that. And this one year they were at the airport and everything, and something happened where it wasn't, the flights were, it was foggy because it's in San Francisco. It was foggy, so it got canceled, and the news was there, and they go to interview them, and then find their phones start ringing because the parents realize that they're not going anywhere. They saw them on television, so then now they can't get out of it.
Yeah, and they gotta go to 04.
Yeah, and so Sissy Spacek plays his mother. She's oh my God, she was so good. But
Jon Favreau plays.
Jon Favreau.
Does he play his brother?
He plays his brother.
Yeah.
And Tim McGraw plays his other brother.
That's yeah.
And
Jon Favreau is so not Jon Favreau.
No,
he's
totally
he's this
different.
Meathead that's chowing down chicken wings, and he's
they're
every
playing
sentence.
a game, and you have to
flip
the
tube.
thing, and he's eating the chicken wings, and he's telling Jon Favreau, he's saying to him, do you understand the game and all this kind of stuff, and he's eating a chicken wing. He's like, flip the tube, just flip the tube, and everything. And it was so funny. And then this whole thing ensues there because they bought the dad satellite dish.
Oh yeah.
And so they're putting it up. He insists they put it up there. He's not going to do it and everything. So they're all trying to put this thing up and everything, and it doesn't hold. And of course, everything starts flying off shelves in the house. And oh my gosh, it's just so good, so funny. Vince Vaughn is being Vince Vaughn like he always is, and if you like him, you'll love this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the funny thing is too, they said that the chemistry between the 2 of them was really bad. Like they didn't like each other on set, but I thought hands down they had it. I'm telling you, it was awesome. Love that movie. Can't wait to see it. Go home and watch it tonight.
All right, and your
number one is my number one is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That is
that was a
punt.
A punt for.
That is my number one.
That is your number one?
Yeah, that is also my number one.
Man.
Yeah, it was not my number 4.
This freaking movie.
Which I don't know how, because when you said earlier the Love Actually is our family, I feel like this was our more modernly we watch Love Actually a lot, but we used to watch this as our entire family.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Definitely.
Continue.
So many quotables from the movie, so many great, obviously The Blessing is one of the,
The Blessing! Grace died 30 years ago.
Cutting down the tree. And
'Tis the season to be merry. Well, that's my name. No shit. Can't see the line, can you, Ross?
Your eyebrows are frozen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. And just like having Julie Dreyfus and I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As the neighbors, and he comes out with the chainsaw.
Why is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't
know, Margot. So good.
And then, oh my God, what's his name? Eddie. Uncle Eddie.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Randy Quaid.
Randy
Yeah.
Quaid.
Shitter was
Crazy.
full.
Don't get me wrong, but
Clark, I want you to get something from me. He's like, I want you to get something from me for you. I want you to get something.
Yeah.
Real nice. Real nice. the click of
when
his
they're like just talking and he's like they're scooping the eggnog and that thing
And he
is
just-
spinning. He just touches it.
Oh my god.
This I had on DVD, and this is another movie I watched. Like not even didn't have to be Christmas. Like this is just like
Absolutely.
always watching it. Oh my god, it's just
my
that movie
God.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen like any of the other like Christmas or the Vacations?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen
You know,
I've
yeah, I
seen
think
all.
I've only seen like one or two other ones, but this
Yeah.
for me, like,
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
one
that
is
was the funniest.
just
And it's
classic.
not even, and I feel like if you ask, everybody on the street, 50% of them are going to think that this is the first one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
wasn't,
this is
yeah.
the second one.
Yeah.
Like,
The original was
But yeah.
amazing,
yeah.
but
Her eyes aren't crossed anymore. Yeah, it's something, ain't it? She gets kicked by a mule. Her eyes go across. She falls down a well.
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh my god.
And when
Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh my god.
their grandpa is like laying in Russ's bed and he's like
Oh, yeah,
staring at the
staring
ceiling
at
and
the
girl
picture.
poster. Oh my god.
Just such a good movie. Like, just so quotable. And it's just, to me, it's like the Christmassiness of it is the most Christmassy of anything. Just like, and also just the scene where he's, up in the attic watching the old family videos.
yeah.
And you're just like, oh my god. Like, it's
Yeah.
just such like a heartwarming scene.
Mhm.
And then, of course, it leads to, he gets stuck up there.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, you can't.
And when she pulls that thing down and he just crashes.
Yeah.
But oh my god. But yeah, and then when when he gets the Jelly of the Month Club thing, he's like, Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving all year long.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's got to be one of the most
And
quotable
then when Eddie
films.
kidnaps
Yeah.
Brian Doyle Murray, and he's like,
With a big bow
Yeah.
around him.
oh my gosh. And then I love too that it's like it shows at the end that like his wife didn't even know. And she was like, Frank, you didn't. She was like, you didn't cut the Christmas bone. And he's like, well, we needed to, cut whatever. And his wife's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, and even the cops are like, that's really
That's
messed
really
up,
bad,
man.
yeah.
Like, it's so freaking funny. Oh my god, I can't. It's just such an amazing movie. Why don't you bend over and I'll show you? You got some nerve talking to me like that, Griswold. I wasn't talking to you. Oh my god.
Oh.
And the
Oh,
whole
so
like kind
good.
of like picturing him like in the window, like picturing the
Oh yeah, the pool.
Oh, the pool.
with
and
Mary.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh
My god.
And then also when the neighbors, when he finally gets the lights on the house, and
Yeah.
they're in the dark and
Yeah, and they're, like,
everything, and
blinded.
everything
Yeah.
just like my carpet, and he's like falling down the stairs
Yeah.
because it keeps going on and off, so he can't see. Oh my god. Yeah, they really made it, like, to put that touch in there with the neighbors.
Mhm. And like Johnny Galecki too as Russ is just like, he's just so young, but it's just like, especially like when his dad when he's like, all right, Russ, you start untangling these, and he's like, oh, I would. He's like, I still got, and he just starts walking away, and he's like,
Homework?
I got homework to do, and I still got those bills to pay. I
Yeah.
gotta feed the
the
dog.
dog.
I gotta. It's like he's like just like starts naming all this crap.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's just so funny. But I mean, especially like Cousin Eddie is just like something real nice. Like, oh my god. And then also just like the sad thing of like, when when Eddie's like kids, when she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Uncle Clark, are you Santa Claus?
Yeah, and it's like, and then he's like, they're like, oh, they said Santa Claus isn't coming this year or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's like, holy shit, like it's so like you're like, oh my
So
god,
depressing.
yeah. But yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah. So let's real quick, let's we're gonna run down our
Lists.
our top 10.
respective
Yeah,
lists.
real quick, we're going to go ahead and run down. Well, let me see. Actually, I'll pull a John Camper right now. Real quick, we are going to run down our lists again from start to finish for our top 10 holiday movies of all time. So real quick, with just the titles, run on your 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10, Meet Me in St. Louis. 9 was Home Alone 2. 8 was A Christmas Story. 7, The Santa Claus. 6, Elf. Let's see. 5 was It's a Wonderful Life. 4 is Christmas Vacation. 3, Home Alone. 2, Love Actually. And 1, Four Christmases.
Nice.
Okay.
And TJ's list was?
Mine was 10, Jack Frost. 9, Elf. 8, It's a Wonderful Life. 7, Home Alone. 6, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action one. 5, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. 4, Charlie Brown Christmas. 3, Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. 2, which I actually just put that together in my head, the Escape Clause. Escape Clause.
Yeah.
2, Polar Express, and 1, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Nice. And my list was number 10, The Polar Express. Number 9, Daddy's Home 2. Number 8, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Number 7, Home Alone. Number 6, Fred Claus. Number 5, Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. Number 4, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Number 3, Love Actually. Number 2, The Santa Claus. And number 1, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Those are all 3 of our top 10s. We broke them down on our PFN Live tonight. Thank you guys for joining us who joined us live. Yeah. So, anything else that we want to touch on, or do you have anything? Well, I mean, I think we're good to close out. I just want to say from me, thank you guys for the incredible, and we will have a show next week too. So, it's not the last time you'll see us this year, but, thank you guys for a tremendous 2021 for the channel. We saw a lot of growth. We're trying to get to 350 subscribers by the new year. Be a part of that. Help us get there. We appreciate it. And yeah, happy holidays from everybody at the Planet Film Network. I've been one of your hosts, Sean Monk. You can follow me at real Sean Monk on Twitter and on Instagram. And make sure to I forgot what my part was. Make sure to follow us on come on here, on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the official PFN. Between posting news updates, new posters, new trailers, and our own content, we're posting across those 3 platforms almost daily. So make sure you follow it on there for some more content from us, and make sure you stick around on the channel if you like what you saw. TJ?
Yeah. Before I take us out, thank you to Shelly for joining us for our top 10 Christmas movies episode.
Very fun.
Anything you'd like to plug of yours?
Yeah, actually,
Yes.
I have a podcast of my own called the Two Old Broads podcast with my co-host Jackie. We've been a little bit on a hiatus because sadly Jackie got COVID. So we are actually going to be back after the first of the year on Sunday, January 9th, I believe, 11 a.m. It'll be a Facebook Live. Right now, that's kind of how we're working it. Mm-hmm. We need to grow up like you guys did, and everything. So our first one for the year is we have a magic 8-ball. We're going to ask it questions and see what the answer is.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, well, be sure to tune into that on Facebook. As your host, TJ Cornwell. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on all social platforms, like Sean said. We're trying to figure out a topic for next week, so you'll probably find that out literally next Wednesday when we go live. Go check out the Doctor Strange reaction trailer that Sean did earlier today on the channel. And happy holidays, and we will see you next week.
Boom.